Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Storyist. Most of us do things that are good for others because we know that something good will come back in return. But what we often forget is that the same goes with doing something bad to others. Only a few people believe in karma. That's why there are plenty others who treat people so badly, not realizing that it will eventually come back to them. Today, I will be sharing with you a story about an abuser who sold his wife to his humiliating boss. But karma is not blind, and it served him the taste of his own medicine. Stay until the end of the video to find out what happened. Alan is a very dedicated and career-driven man. For him, there is nothing more important than his career. His ultimate dream is to be wealthy enough someday that he does not have to work another day in his life. This goal of his is somehow acceptable, considering his life background. Alan grew up in a small community and a poor family. He did not see his family as poor when he was young, because everyone else in their neighborhood was either as poor as them or even poorer than their family. He used to enjoy all the things life had to offer him. The broken swings in the abandoned playground, the rusty rings of the public basketball court, the deafening noises from the vehicles passing by his house while studying. All of them gave Alan the feeling that his childhood was the best, and that he was not missing out on anything in his life. But that was until he went to school to study grade school. His school, even though a public one, held a mix of both rich, middle class, and social class students. The cafeteria was filled with a variety of expensive and inexpensive food. He always thought that he was not missing out on anything, but when he discovered all the delicious food his classmates could afford, but he couldn't, that was when he started to realize that life was unfair after all, and that not everyone was in the same situation as he was. That was when Alan started dreaming of getting rich and buying things that his classmates had that he didn't. There also came a time when he would sneak into his classmates' room when there was no one inside and pick pockets or bags for some loose coins he could add to his daily allowance. He knew he was in a poor family, but he was dedicated to getting out of his situation. Because of his dream, he applied for jobs at a young age. While studying, he would collect garbage around the neighborhood in exchange for a few coins. He also initiated cleaning their neighborhood streets, playground, and basketball area for a few bills. He would do some household chores inside the homes of his rich classmates. He would accept gardening jobs and many other jobs to add up to his savings. He was a dedicated young boy, and everybody loved him. When he had graduated from high school, he took a gap year first to save for his college fund. He worked 2 shifts in one day just so he could earn enough for his tuition and allowances. Fortunately, because of his hard work, he was able to save enough, and after a year from his high school graduation, he had entered college in the city. Things were very different, and life was much harder to cope with. But because of his dream, he managed to adapt easily to city life. There were countless distractions and temptations during his stay in the city. Drinking pubs were everywhere, and his friends were often spending night after night in clubs. He struggled, but he tried his best not to give in to the temptations around him. All he wanted to do in the city was work for his allowance and study hard for a degree. Alan was so determined, and after 4 years of studying in college, he finally graduated with honors. Graduating at the top of their class was no easy feat, but it became his ticket to land good jobs easily. Just a few months after his college graduation, Alan landed a corporate job at a brokerage firm. He was very happy, believing he was finally a few steps away from his dream of becoming rich. He worked really hard, and often he would work overtime to impress his boss. His boss was strict and hard to please, but still he was determined to do everything he could to please his boss. He would deliberately get close to him using different ways, like personally buying him his coffee or chit-chatting with him in the elevator. He did not mind being branded as the leech in their firm. He loved being the leech. But then one day, he met a woman that made him reevaluate his priorities. Claire was a beautiful young lady who captured Alan's heart the first time they met. Clara was a fresh graduate at the time, when Alan had been working for 3 years there already. She was a newbie, and they were immediately smitten with each other. One day, Alan asked Claire out on a date, and the two had started to get to know each other better. Their friendship soon blossomed into something more, and eventually the two started dating. They were in a relationship for 3 years before Alan popped up the question. He asked Claire to marry him, and she gladly agreed. They got married and are now 2 years into their marriage, being happy as a couple. But during those 2 years of marriage, things haven't been all rainbows and sunshine for the couple. They fought a lot of times, and the main reason was because Alan would always prioritize his work and career over Claire, his own wife and family. Alan also makes it clear every time the two of them are having a fight that he loves Claire, but he will be willing to give her up should his career ask him to. Claire is offended by this, but she tries to understand that Alan loves his career more than anything else, because having a stable career has always been his dream. But everything changes one day when Alan's disrespectful boss sees Claire in the office. Since the two of them got married, Claire has left the firm and looked for a better paying job. When Claire gets back after 2 years for a corporate gathering, Alan's boss lays his eyes on her and immediately takes interest. The boss keeps on looking at Claire's legs, and she is wearing a short skirt. Once Claire notices this, she immediately confronts the boss. "Excuse me, sir, but you shouldn't look at someone else's wife like that," Claire politely says. The boss is humiliated by Claire's words and replies, "Well, if you want to be respected, you shouldn't wear dresses like that." Alan's attention is caught by the rising voices of his wife and his boss, but he is torn in the middle. He loves his wife and wants to side with her, but he loves his job too, and he can't jeopardize his upcoming promotion. So Alan just kept quiet. After the meeting, Alan's boss talks to him. "How much can I give you for your wife? Do you want to be promoted as my assistant director?" Alan's eyes sparkle. He loves his wife, but he loves being promoted more than anything. He does not make any second thought and promptly sells his wife to his boss in exchange for a huge promotion. When his wife finds out about this, she can't believe everything. She loved Alan more than anyone, so she can't accept the fact that he can sell her for his career. "I supported your ups and downs, but now you want to choose your promotion over me?" cries Claire. But Alan does not shed any tears. He's very excited about his upcoming promotion, and his wife's feelings are no longer important. Claire does not waste any second, and she runs away back to her family. Alan panics as he does not know what to do. He promised his boss that he will bring Claire to the office the following morning, and he will be handed his promotion afterwards. The next day, Alan admits to his boss that Claire ran away. Furious, his boss yells at him and fires him that instant. Alan lost both his wife and his career in one single mistake. He is so devastated, and while walking home holding his box of things from his old office, he remembered how his wife supported him in everything. Claire never blamed him for not being around too much and supported him to grow in his career. But now he lost both of the things he cared about. Karma is indeed not blind. It sees everything, he thinks to himself. Alan wanders the streets, searching for a new job. And until today, he hasn't found any. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and we'll see you in the next.